Hello and welcome to Miniature Adventures. I'm Big Lee, and today I want to talk about the beauty of attending Wargame shows. So there's something undeniably special about attending a Wargame show in the UK. It's more than just an event on the calendar, more than just a marketplace or a display. It's a communal experience, a convergence of history, imagination, craftsmanship and storytelling, all stitched together by our shared love of tabletop wargaming. For many it marks a highlight of the year, a day or maybe a weekend to immerse themselves fully in the hobby, to meet like-minded enthusiasts and take in the rich culture that surrounds miniature wargaming in all of its forms. So yesterday I attended Salute 52 at the XL Centre in East London. It's the closest show to where I live, and barring a few times when dates have clashed with family holidays, I've attended every year for the last 20 plus years. Hopefully you will have had a chance to see my initial short show video, but if you enjoy a more detailed look at a show like Salute, then keep an eye open later today. I'm currently working on a longer version incorporating more pictures and video from yesterday's event. For now though, I thought that a conversation about the benefits of attending wargame shows in general would be a suitable tie-in to Salute, and an opportunity to ask, what's your favourite wargame show and why? Now on the surface you might think a wargame show is just a big hall filled with traders, demo tables and display boards. And yes, those are elements and they're part of it, but the real benefits go much deeper. The most obvious one is inspiration. Walk into any hall and immediately seeing 100 different tables set up with beautifully painted with miniatures, terrain that brings battlefields to life and scenarios that leap straight out of history books or fantasy novels. It's like a creative lightning bolt. You come away from a show buzzing with ideas for your next project. Maybe you'll be inspired to start a new army or try a period of history you've never explored before. Perhaps you'll be drawn into a genre you never thought would interest you. Suddenly ancients or sci-fi skirmish wargames don't seem so far outside your comfort zone. Now that exposure to new systems and settings is something you just can't replicate online. Sure, you can watch battle reports on YouTube or read rule books digitally, but there's something irreplaceable about seeing a game played in real time with real people explaining the mechanics and showing the fun in the flow of play. Demo games are like living advertisements, but without the sales pressure. They're invitations. They welcome you in, hand you some dice and say, give it a go. And often that first experience with a new rule set or miniature range will stick with you and pull you into a new corner of the hobby you didn't even know existed. There's also the tactile experience. This is a physical hobby. Miniatures are meant to be handled, terrain is meant to be seen from different angles, and paint jobs are meant to be appreciated in natural light and not just through the screen. When you're at a wargame show, you get to see the true depth and detail of the work on display. You can spot brushstrokes, inspect conversions and see techniques up close. That alone can be an education. And it doesn't just end at looking. You can chat with the people who built those armies or sculpted that terrain. You can ask questions. You can get tips and tricks. You can talk to the traders and manufacturers directly and get a sense of the thought processes behind a particular product range or rule set. That level of access is priceless. Of course, a major draw for many attendees is the shopping. The trader hall at a wargame show is like a treasure trove, and it's not just about getting your hands on new kits or the latest releases, it's about discovery. You'll find small independent companies selling unique ranges you won't see in your local game store. You'll see limited edition figures, scratch-built terrain, handmade accessories, and all kinds of specialist tools and paints. Some of the best finds are the ones you stumble across by accident, something you never knew you needed until you saw it in person. It's also a chance to compare products side by side, to hold them in your hands before you buy, to speak directly with the people who make them. That kind of shopping experience is a world away from clicking add to cart while you're at home. But perhaps the greatest benefit of attending a wargame show in the UK is the social side of things. This is, at its heart, a community hobby, and nothing makes that clearer than being in a hall full of people who speak the same strange, wonderful language of dice rolls, base sizes, movement trays and scales. You'll strike up conversations in queues, bond over a shared love of obscure campaigns and get into passionate discussions about painting techniques or the relative merits of different rule sets. You might meet people you've only known through forums or online communities. You might reconnect with old friends you haven't seen in years. You might make entirely new friends, united by the simple joy of pushing painted figures around a wargames table. There's a particular friendliness into the UK wargaming scene too. Shows have an informal, welcoming feel to them. Whether you're a seasoned veteran or brand new to the hobby, you'll find people who are eager to share, to teach and to chat. That accessibility is important, especially for newcomers. It can be daunting to enter a hobby that's steeped in history, tradition and decades of accumulated knowledge, but a show helps break down those barriers. It demystifies things. It shows you that at the end of the day, everyone's just there to enjoy the game, to tell stories and to share their passion. You also get to see the sheer diversity of the hobby at a show. It's not just Napoleonic battalions or 40k armies. You'll see games set in feudal Japan, or mythical jungles, or Martian colonies, or deep within Gothic cathedrals. You'll see tiny 6mm tanks rolling across meticulously crafted battlefields, and enormous 54mm fantasy duels played out like dioramas in motion. The variety on offer is staggering, and it reflects the idea that there's no right way to be a wargamer. Whether you like the competitive tournament play, narrative campaigns, solo skirmishes, or just painting for display, there's a space for you, and a show will show that to you in the most vivid and exciting way possible. But let's not forget the clubs either. Many local clubs run tables at shows showcasing their own games, projects or terrain collections. This serves, of course, two purposes. It gives the clubs a chance to show off their work, and it gives you a chance to discover communities near you. Maybe you didn't even realise there was a club 20 minutes from your house. Maybe you've been thinking about joining one but weren't sure what they were like. Seeing them in action at a show is a great way to get a feel for the vibe, and often it leads to new memberships and new friendships that will continue well after the show is over. Now, one of the underrated benefits of shows is that they offer a mental refresh. So much of our hobby time is spent on our own, in our own spaces, at our desks, painting in the evenings or scrolling through forums and videos. Attending a show gets you out of that bubble. It's an injection of energy. It can rekindle your motivation. You might go in feeling a bit burned out or stuck in a rut, but you'll leave with a renewed sense of purpose and excitement. That shift in perspective, seeing your hobby through somebody else's eyes, experiencing the buzz of the crowd, the applause for a beautifully painted unit, or the laughter over a badly timed dice roll, can be just what you need to fall in love with wargaming all over again. And for those who are more deeply embedded in the creative side of the hobby, sculptors, rules writers, terrain builders, commission painters, a Wargame show is a platform. It's an opportunity to showcase your work, to meet collaborators, to get feedback, and even to find business opportunities. You'll meet podcasters, YouTubers, magazine writers and publishers. You might get invited to contribute to a project or find a new outlet for your work. These creative connections often start with a handshake across the demo table or a shared laugh during a seminar. And some shows also host painting competitions, which can be both inspiring and challenging. Seeing the best of the best up close can raise your own standards. You get to learn what's possible, to see techniques that go beyond what you thought could be done with a brush and some pigment, and if you choose to enter, it gives you a goal, a reason to push yourself, to finish that model, to go the extra mile. Whether you win or not, participating in a competition brings its own sense of accomplishment. I know, I've done it once and I thoroughly enjoyed it. And speaking of models, it's worth mentioning the role wargaming shows play in supporting the ecosystem of the hobby. By attending, you're supporting small businesses, independent creators and the volunteers who put these events together. Many of the traders you meet are passionate individuals running niche operations out of workshops and sometimes out of garages. The money you spend goes back into the hobby, helping to keep it diverse, innovative and thriving. The same goes for the clubs and societies that contribute tables and displays. Your ticket helps ensure that future shows continue to run, that new venues are booked and that the community is at home in the real world, not just online. And Wargame shows in the UK also carry with them a strong sense of tradition. Some of the biggest names, Salute, Partizan, Warfare, for Partnering, have history stretching back decades. There's something comforting and meaningful about being part of that continuity. You're stepping into a space that's been shaped by generations of gamers before you, and you're helping to shape it for the ones that come after. The rituals, the regular meetups, the familiar traders and faces, they all become part of the rhythm of your hobby life. And yet despite that sense of continuity, each show also feels fresh. There's always something new to see, a new rule set making waves, a breakout sculptor showcasing their first range, a surprise guest appearance on a panel, a table that just stuns everyone with its creativity. That blend of the familiar and the new is part of what makes these events so addictive. You go once, you'll inevitably want to go again. So to sum up, attending a Wargame show, I think in the UK, is more than just a day out. It's an investment in your hobby, in your creativity and in your community. It's an experience that recharges you, connects you, reminds you of why you got into wargaming in the first place. Whether you're there for the shopping, the spectacle, the learning, the networking, or simply the joy of being amongst people who share your passions, it all adds up to something bigger than the sum of its parts. So as usual, I want to throw this topic open to you and ask a simple question. Wherever you live in the world, what's your favourite Wargame show and why? And if you haven't been to a show, maybe because of distance or money, if you had unlimited resources, what would be your top 3 Wargames events and why? As always, I look forward to reading your responses in the comments below. So that's it for this week. I need to get back to my computer to continue editing the long version of my show video for Salute. As always, I'd implore you to please join the conversation in the comments below. I really do enjoy reading them all. And if you enjoyed the video, please like, subscribe and share. And if you want to keep up to date with weekly content from this channel, please tap the bell notification icon. So until next week, stay safe, keep gaming and of course, keep rolling high.